Welcome to part 29 of this series where I talk about a specific family branch of mine, let you know what I've learned about them, what I haven't learned about them, and how I got to the conclusions that I did. And right now we're going to be talking about my Hechler family from Kolomyia, Ukraine. This is the second to last episode in this series, and it's one that I've been researching for a really long time, and I'm really excited to talk to you about. So before we begin, I just have one favor to ask of you, which is that you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for doing that. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so let's go do that. Now, my great-great-grandmother was Sarah Hechler, born around 1884 in Kolomyia, Ukraine. And according to the birth record from 1879 of her older sister, Sosie, her parents were named Hirsch Markscheid and Jutta Chaya Hechler. Hence, the children all took on the mother's last name rather than the father's, and we don't know the exact reason why, but it may have something to do with the standing that the Hechler family had in the community, or it could have been for a number of other reasons, due to perhaps the births being viewed as illegitimate, due to maybe them only being married through a Jewish ceremony. But this is all speculation, and to this date, we don't really know the exact reason why. The very same document lets us know that Jutta's parents were named Hertzke Hechler and Mincia Nagler. And for the longest time, I wasn't really sure when Jutta Chaya or Hertzke were born, but thanks to Genealogy Galicia, who released a bunch of unindexed birth records from Kolomyia, I was able to find that Jutta Chaya was born in 1858 and her father was born in 1836. Now, this is just the index, so it only tells us the year of birth. It doesn't give us an exact birth date, and we don't have the actual birth record, but this is incredible because it tells us exactly the year that they were born. And these records go back to the 1820s, which is very old for this region. Hertzke was a goldsmith who died in 1893 of cholera, and I had had this DNA match for the longest time that seemed to have been descended from another Hechler relative. And for the longest time, I couldn't figure out exactly how we were related. You see, the DNA match had been descended from a couple named Ovadi and Mircea Hechler. And the couple seemed to have had the same last name, indicating that they were cousins of one another. The mystery didn't last for too long because I was soon able to find out that Mircea, who died the exact same year as Hertzke, also from cholera, had been born to the same parents as Hertzke was, and that she was his sister. Their parents were named Rachmiel Hechler and Jutta Chaya. So now we know that Sarah's mother, Jutta Chaya, was named after her grandmother, and we also know the name of my fifth great-grandfather, which was Rachmiel Hechler. There are a ton of other Hechler records from Kolomyia, and I compiled these all into different family groupings. Unfortunately, the majority of them I have not been able to tie in with my own family tree, but it's pretty clear that there are probably 1 or 2 generations difference in a lot of these branches. And if only there were just a few more records, maybe some older records available, well, I might be able to eventually link them together. But for now, it is going to have to kind of stay a mystery. For instance, Mircea and Ovadi may have been first cousins, but once again, this is purely speculation because since they were both from the same family, I have no way of knowing if they named their children after the father's family or after the mother's family. This is one of those instances where I have a ton of records to work with, and I probably will continue to dig through the Kolomyia documents just in case something pops up, perhaps in the back end of the records. A lot of times it will show the mother's parents' names, so it's quite possible there are other Hechlers out there who may be named in the documents but would not show up on the indexes. So this is something to look into. Kolomyia was a huge city with a very large Jewish population. This both makes it really good because there are a lot of documents out there for it, but also really bad because it's a lot to sift through. So thanks to groups like Gesher Galicia, a lot of things keep getting released, and it's quite possible that I'll be able to break through additional brick walls in the future. Now, we only have one more episode in this series left, so that's what we're going to be talking about the next time. And bringing this to a close, it's pretty incredible that I've had the chance to talk about 30 different family lines. I mean, this is a lot of different family branches for an Ashkenazi Jewish family. Some of the ones that don't have surnames I haven't really talked about much, but I hope to wrap it all up next time with a really good episode. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't followed me on social media, I've got links down below to both my Instagram and my Twitter. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and I'll see you in the next one.